All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is Lost and Found with your host, Cain Stevens. I'm Cain Stevens, and this is my show. Glad you guys are here. Glad you guys decided to make it back to this show. This show's a Christian show that's, it's not all rainbows and kittens, but hopefully there's some positive things that we can share on this that we don't get to talk about on some other shows. So I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in and listening to my first couple episodes of this. We're going to keep on rolling, keep on trucking, and we got a long way to go and a little time to get there. And we got to keep on trucking on this thing. So today we're going to do a little Christian news. All right, so this one out of Headlines.com, not Christian Headlights, although I'm sure it happens. ChristianHeadlines.com has some pretty good stuff. This one is a 107-year-old woman credits God for longevity. I do what the Bible tells me, she says. The South Carolina woman who recently celebrated the 107th birthday credits the blessings of God for longevity. This one was initially reported by WLTX News of 19 in Columbia. Thompson was born on October 10th of 1915, 2 years before the United States entered World War I, and just 3 years after the Titanic sank. So she was 26 when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941. She was 48 when John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and 53 when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. So she's seen some things. She's been through some stuff. So that's amazing in itself. I'm always kind of interested in people who do live that long, like just their general. I mean, you see a lot of people that you care about pass when you live that long. So it's a blessing and a curse, I'm sure. But if you look at it from another perspective, it's more of just what a wonderful bunch of blessings. I mean, to be able to make it that long, and to especially someone who is a Christian, maybe they've helped a lot of people along the way. Looks like her friends and family held a large outdoor birthday for her. That's good. She said, "I had no dream of being 107, and who would? Oh, but the Lord spared me, and I tried to do the right thing. I guess so people don't talk about you." I don't know. So maybe that's why she just wanted to be good, so people didn't talk her down. I don't know. Yeah, she'd been through it all. I mean, she's I guess she picked cotton many years ago. She claimed she could pick 260 pounds of cotton a day. But she doesn't do it anymore, thank goodness. I wonder how long she's been retired then, for 50 years or something. She has 3 grandchildren, she has 3 children, 6 grandchildren, 14 great-grandchildren, and 3 great-great-grandchildren. That's pretty awesome. So, she... Just the fact that, kind of like the quarterback who scores or something gives praise to God. She's thanking God for every day. So the lesson to be learned here is, just be grateful for the time you have, whether it's short or long. Try to look at it in a positive light. It looks like Thompson, she is not the oldest American. That honor was an Iowan who turned 115 on November 7th. Man, that's a lot. She has a daughter who's 90, so it's definitely in their genes. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So I'm glad we touched on this. So there you go. There's a little positive Christian headline for you. So check that out on ChristianHeadlines.com, everybody. All right, so on this show in particular, I feel like with everything going on right now, it's important to talk about how everything is getting a little bit wild out there, you know what I mean? Like it's starting to there's a massive shift, and it's been taking place for many years. And in today's day, which sounds like a very old person thing to say, it's been said a billion times, but I think the call to arms is, so to speak, is there. I mean, it's time to start defending ourselves and saving as many people as we can, because, I mean, things couldn't be more volatile in the world today. People aren't kind to each other anymore. People are just awful to each other. I mean, social media is such a curse and a blessing. A blessing because it's interesting to be able to connect with people that you never would have before. But it's such a curse because then you get the worst of the worst coming out of the woodwork. So, I invite you to do this. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to censor yourself. But on some respects, I mean, you have to start thinking, what's the trash that I'm filling my mind with? What's the garbage that I'm subject to all the time? I mean, is it lost and found? I don't know. I mean, if you consider this show garbage, that's okay too. You're entitled to your opinion. But I feel like it's the call to arms is now. It's time to really start buckling down and getting ready, because it's already happening, everybody. I mean, there's so much taking place in the world right now. There's so much evil and so much awful. The reason, I'm getting into this is I finally, as an adult, sat down and read the book of Revelations and listened to full weeks of sermons on Revelations. And, as a kid, I can tell you that it's very scary. It's very terrifying. But as an adult, I see it in such a different light. I mean, I always looked at it as like a weird sci-fi movie with doom and gloom and all that before. I mean, it's got some pretty wild supernatural stuff, creatures with horns and all sorts of things, multiple heads. And it's a wild thing to think about. It's something that my stupid, monkey brain can't seem to figure out. I don't think I'm a monkey by any means. I just, I like to compare myself to different animals from time to time. Although, there's pretty smart monkeys out there and apes, so I really shouldn't down them. I mean, they probably do think that we're the idiots. But, getting back to what I'm saying is it's just, as an adult, when you look at Revelation, one, it's extremely important to dig into Revelations, because it can shape your mindset, and it's the ultimate warning to you and call to you as a Christian to do what's right. I mean, what will we do? What will you do if you're up against your life versus standing up for God and saying that, Jesus is truth and God is truth? What will you do if that time were to come? And I mean, they've been saying this for many years, but I feel that in today's day, it couldn't be more volatile, and it couldn't be more evil than it is right now. I mean, look at our politicians, look at the people we follow, look at Hollywood and the music industry and just the entire world, and it's so foul. There's no, I mean, would it kill us to get some good Christian content out there too? I mean, would it kill us? I mean, I know you're saying, oh, it's there. It is, but I mean, Hollywood is not saturated with Bible stories and all of that. I mean, aside from what? I mean, the Passion Christ, some of the old movies, the our favorites with Charlton Heston and all that type of stuff. I mean, those are great. But I mean, what can we do? I mean, our life right now is a big mess. We're all part of it. Some believe that the end times is happening right now, and I don't personally. I mean, I think we're on the verge of it, possibly, but I don't know. I mean, I can't fathom what the world would be like. I mean, I know it spells it out in Revelations, and you have to really dig into it and listen to people who've studied it for, forever to kind of get your mind wrapped around what it actually is. But we have to be ready. I mean, the persecution of Christianity is now, and if you're saying that it's not, you're blind to it. You're refusing to believe that this type of thing could be happening as we speak. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going as far as to say that. I mean, I'm sure there are people dying in the name of Christianity all the time, but what I'm getting at is it's going to be on a much higher scale. There's going to be so much going on when the prophecy of Revelations comes to light. And I just call you today, if you're out there listening, if this does anything for you at all, is have yourself ready. What will you do if you're faced with the choice to either die in Christ, or live in evil? What will you do? I think you should choose. Obviously, you want to choose good, but you get so clouded by it, and I think that's where we're kind of at right now. Is I think that our society is being clouded a little bit more at a time and made weak, and they're just chipping away at us a little bit at a time. Who are they? I know that's a kind of a nefarious way of saying, I don't know. but it's happening all over. It's our politics. They're just whittling away, chipping away at the wood a little bit at a time until there's nothing left. So my call to you is to be better. Be a better person. Think about what a gift life really is and how short of a time, really, in the grand scheme of things, we're here. Some of them shorter than others. Think about the people you've lost and the fact that they didn't get to continue on for whatever reason. And then ask yourself, why am I here? And what is my purpose? And there is a purpose. God has a purpose for you. God hasn't forgotten about you. God didn't forget about me. We could sit there and we can point our fingers and we can scream at the sky and blame God for everything. But really, we should be screaming and pointing at ourselves, because it's our decisions that got us into some of these messes. I'm not saying everyone who has something bad that happens to them, it's all their fault. That's not true, because other people make awful choices. But we can be better. If you are a Christian, be better. If you're not a Christian, strive to find out what Christianity is, and I assure you that you will be better on the other side. If you're suffering from depression, if you're fighting financial problems, everything, I'm telling you, I know it seems, but I've been through all of it. I've been through all of this. I've been broken as a man, and God has helped me, has given me green grass on the other side. It can happen to you. I care about you. I want to help you. And there are many out there like me who want to do the same. I lived a wild lifestyle before. The drinking, the everything that I did, my past with drugs, all sorts of things. I'm not going to say that's what contributed to my health, because that's not necessarily true, but my health definitely deteriorated, and I have a lot of issues that I deal with. And, you think it was easy for me to have to leave my career and be disabled? I mean, I was a guy who worked 2 to 3 jobs at a time, always moving from one job to another, longing to be with my family, with my wife and my kids, and being so angry and frustrated with my decisions. And, I prayed for more time with my family. I prayed, please, God, give me more time. And God answered my prayers. And, it can happen for you too. Just, if you get anything out of today's podcast, it's this. Read Revelations and look at it in a different light. Look at it for what it is. Look at it for the warning that it is. Look at it for the sorrow that's there, and look at the prize. Keep your eye on the prize of what there is to come if you follow the Lord. So I want to thank you guys. I love you guys. That's really my commentary for this podcast, is just you may be broken, but you can be repaired. It doesn't matter what it is. You can be repaired with a positive mindset, with support from family, from friends, from your church, from other Christians. You can be the change. All right, well, I want to thank you guys once again for listening to the show. I hope that one life at a time I can change people, and I can show you that even when you're a person like me who was down in the darkness, so to speak, you can always find the light, and you can always come back. God doesn't ever give up on you. So in closing on this, we're going to close with just an awesome sermon that I came across on YouTube. It just kind of popped up while I was looking at different things. That's a old Billy Graham sermon, and just something to remind you about Jesus. So thank you guys for listening, and I appreciate all of you. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll definitely see you on the next show. So talk to you later.
Who is Jesus Christ? Who is he? Who is this Jesus? Why is he in our conscience and in our mind? Is he just a revolutionary hero? Or is he something more? He only lived 33 years. He never traveled more than 100 miles. He never had any formal education. And yet 2,000 years later, an entire generation is talking about Jesus Christ.